Right now, we are witnessing a truly historic collapse of the economy, and yet most Americans do not know what is going on. One of the biggest reasons why the American people do not understand what is happening to the economy is because our politicians and the media are not telling the truth. The president, politicians, and officials at the Federal Reserve keep talking about an economic recovery, and yet most Americans do not seem to think that things are getting any better at all. There are millions upon millions of Americans that are sitting at home right now wondering why they lost their jobs and why nobody will hire them. Millions of other Americans are wondering why the only jobs they can get are low-income jobs anyone could do that aren't even enough to pay their bills. Families all across America are wondering why it seems like their paychecks are shrinking while the cost of living, price of food, energy, gas, gold, and other commodities continue to skyrocket. You have no doubt begun to ask yourself some of these same questions. You may have also noticed that everywhere you look, despite all the evidence we're being given to the contrary, things are not okay, they're not fine, and we should in fact be very worried. We are in Marketing, a cutting-edge market research firm in Denver, Colorado. One of the things we do through the help of experts is to help ordinary people understand complicated financial situations like the one today so that they can survive and possibly even profit. In the coming months, we have committed our resources fully to informing and preparing the American people for this coming disaster. This is a big job. We can't do it alone, and in fact, we need your help. With you, we will inform as many Americans as possible to this coming disaster. This is regardless of whether or not they invest in the American Survival Bible. While the American Survival Bible is a powerful collection of tools to help you survive this coming crisis, we believe that you will be more informed and better prepared for having seen this presentation. We are not affiliated with any political or religious organization. We do not believe in any extremist cause or agenda. However, we do believe in common sense and basic economic principles. Many believe that this could never happen in America, that we are too large and too strong to have a breakdown of this magnitude, to have a collapse of these proportions. You would be mistaken to believe this. You would be mistaken to think that somehow basic economic principles do not apply to us. This is in fact the mentality that will destroy most Americans. Let me assure you that a collapse of this magnitude can happen to us, that these principles do apply, and that this crisis is in fact already taking place. You know that our national debt has reached epic proportions. Our government has loaded us down with massive and insurmountable debt. $14.3 trillion to be exact. This amounts to $46,113 for every living person in the United States, or $121,247 for every U.S. household. In other words, even if we taxed every U.S. citizen 100%, we would still not be able to pay back this loan. This is of course not taking into account future obligations. Publicly traded companies are legally required to account for their future obligations such as retirement and employee pensions. However, our government and federal budget is not bound by such rules. If it were to take into account all these entitlements and obligations, then this figure would be in excess of $100 trillion. Again, these are our most conservative estimates. The sad truth is we simply cannot afford to pay these loans back. In fact, we will soon not even be able to afford the interest on these loans. This debt load is so great that for the first time in U.S. history, some form of government default might seriously be possible. So with our multi-trillion-dollar debt crisis and the future financial health of this great nation hanging in the balance, what is Washington's answer? What else? More debt. Republicans and Democrats are arguing right now to increase the legal debt limit.